Let me ask you something. Why do we still talk about certain leaders decades, even centuries later, while others disappear the moment they step down? Same world, same challenges, sometimes even the same opportunities. Yet one becomes history and the other becomes a memory. The difference? Not luck, not resources. It's the leadership traits they chose to practice or ignore. And in this video, we're breaking down 5 leadership traits you can't afford to ignore. Because leadership is not about position. It's about how you show up when it matters the most. So you don't just learn leadership, you become the kind people remember. First, clarity and vision, and be consistent. Let's start with the foundation of leadership, clarity. Every great leader in history had one thing in common: a vision so clear, people could see it. A leader without a clear vision is like a captain without a map. No matter how hard the team works, they'll move in circles. Great leaders don't just think big, they communicate a clear, simple, and compelling direction. For example, take Elon Musk. His vision for companies like Tesla and SpaceX has always been crystal clear: accelerate sustainable energy and make life multiplanetary. Now here's the key. It's not just the vision, it's the consistency. Even when people doubted the electric cars, even when rockets failed, he stayed consistent with the same mission. And today, the world is following that vision. How you can apply this? Define your clear goal, not vague but specific. Repeat it until your team can say it without you. Stay consistent, even when results are slow. People don't follow ideas. They follow clarity with consistency, because clarity builds direction, and consistency builds trust. Second, decisiveness and acknowledge your mistakes. History doesn't remember leaders who waited forever. It remembers those who acted. Leadership requires decisions, and maturity requires admitting when those decisions go wrong. When you delay decisions, your team pays the price through confusion, delays, and missed opportunities. People don't lose respect when you make mistakes. They lose respect when you pretend you didn't. For example, remember Netflix? They started with DVD rentals. Then they made a bold decision: shift to streaming. Risky? Yes, but decisive. Later, when some strategies didn't work, they didn't hide. They adjusted quickly. That ability to decide fast and adapt faster made them dominate globally. Leadership is not about always being right. It's about being bold enough to decide and honest enough to admit when you're wrong. How you can improve? Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Take informed decisions quickly. Accept mistakes and improve fast. Because wrong decisions can be fixed, but no decision, that's where failure begins. Third, emotional intelligence and learn how to delegate correctly. Many leaders think leadership is about control, but real leadership is about connection and trust. You can't lead people if you don't understand people. Emotional intelligence means managing emotions, understanding people, and handling pressure without breaking the team and turning authority into influence. In delegation, it's not just giving tasks, it's empowering people the right way. For example, look at Avengers Endgame. Imagine if one hero tried to do everything. Game over. Instead, every character had a role based on their strengths. That's delegation done right. In emotional intelligence, that's what helped them trust, coordinate, and win. How you can apply this? Listen more than you speak. Understand your team's strengths. Delegate tasks based on ability, not convenience. Because when people feel understood, they don't just work, they commit. And as we're talking about understanding people and handling responsibilities, this is exactly where something like the Leader's Toolkit becomes incredibly useful. Because most leaders quietly struggle with questions like, how do I inspire my team without forcing authority? How do I handle tough conversations without damaging relationships? How do I make decisions that actually stick instead of constantly changing them? That's where having structured guidance makes a real difference. And we didn't stop at the ebook. You also get a checklist to keep you focused, a resource cheat sheet for quick solutions, and a mind map that simplifies everything into one glance. Simple, practical, and powerful. Because leadership isn't about what you know, it's about what you consistently execute. I've added the link in the description below so you can easily explore it after this video. Now, let's move to the next leadership traits. Fourth, don't duck away. It's easy to lead when everything is going well. But what about when things go wrong? Here's where most leaders quietly fail. They avoid uncomfortable situations and hope things fix themselves, but they don't. Avoiding problems doesn't make you calm, it makes you unreliable. For example, during the COVID-19 pandemic, leaders across industries faced chaos. One standout example is Jacinda Ardern. She didn't avoid tough conversations. She communicated clearly, took responsibility, and stayed visible during uncertainty. Her leadership built trust and calm during a global crisis. How you can improve. Address issues early. Don't avoid uncomfortable conversations. Stay present during challenges. Because leadership is not about comfort, it's about courage under pressure. Fifth, avoid demotivation. A demotivated leader creates a demotivated team. Energy is contagious. If you show frustration, negativity, or lack of direction, your team will mirror it. Your energy as a leader becomes your team's reality. For example, think about Steve Jobs. Yes, he was demanding, but he was deeply passionate and driven. Even during tough times at Apple, his belief in creating insanely great products kept the team motivated. That energy led to revolutionary products like the iPhone. How you can apply this: stay solution-focused instead of problem-focused. Celebrate small wins. Keep reminding your team of the bigger purpose. Because motivation is not what you say, it's what you consistently show. The leadership reality check. So here's something most leaders never do. A quick leadership reality check. Ask yourself these 5 questions. Honestly, if my team had to describe our goal today, would they all say the same thing? Do I make decisions fast or do I hide behind thinking? Does my team feel understood or just instructed? When problems show up, do I step in or step back? And most importantly, does my energy lift my team or drain it? Whatever question made you uncomfortable, that's your biggest leadership gap. And that's exactly where your growth is. Don't try to fix everything at once. Pick just one trait and work on it for the next 7 days. Clarify your vision every day. Delegate one important task. Face one uncomfortable conversation or consciously improve your energy. Because leadership doesn't change in theory. It changes in daily behavior. And if you do this consistently, you won't just learn leadership. You'll start seeing people respond to you differently. Leadership is not about knowing everything. It's not about being perfect. It's about doing a few things consistently right. Have clarity and stay consistent. Make decisions and own your mistakes. Understand people and delegate wisely. Face challenges. Don't avoid them. And most importantly, protect your team's motivation. Because in the end, bad leaders blame their team. Average leaders manage their team. But great leaders, they fix themselves first. And that's why people choose to follow them. So the question is not, do you want to lead? The real question is, do you want to be remembered for how you led? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe, because the next video might just change the way you lead forever. Thanks for watching. And remember, leadership is not about control. It's about showing up, stepping up, and lifting others up, even when it's hard. Check out our next video on 5 key points to cover in your weekly manager meetings. Click here to watch it next.